Hi Virgo, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in for your last monthly reading of the year. This reading will be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It is a general reading. If you're not familiar with the way I do things, I do provide an extended version, the link to which will be available below for rent or purchase. Now, if you were after a private reading with me, all the information that you need is below in the show more section. List of prices, services, as well as my email to go ahead and arrange that reading. Otherwise, let's jump into it, Virgo, and see what cards come up for you, what 6 cards come up for you for the month of December. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay, could be a month very focused on love, relationships, and communication in relationships or with significant other people here, Virgo. Let's kick off with the Four of Swords, however, which can be a period of retreat, withdrawal, maybe even taking some time off. It could be a quiet period or a reflective period. Because the Four of Swords can indicate laying something to rest here. Now, in this first column, there is strong air energy. The lovers are seen as Gemini twins, with the air sign here coming up in the swords, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But it could be anything to do with communication, laying down communication, or losing touch with someone, or even falling apart here, losing communication. The Four of Swords can also be a period of loss, however, and loss can come in many forms. It might be the loss of a person, it might be the loss of a job, the loss of a possession, or, as I said, losing touch. It can be quite a spiritual time. You might notice that in the beginning of December, you're engaging in more spiritual ventures, meditation, prayer, religion, philosophy, healing. Things like that could really be occupying your mind space, especially towards the beginning of December. It's quite interesting, I feel. Now, it could go one of both ways, one of two ways, I feel. If you are in that Four of Swords and you've left love, out of your life, you haven't really met someone, you haven't been connecting, then I do feel like there is a potential soulmate twin flame union here that you're going to attract, or something that might be destined for you here, Virgo. Or it could be the opposite. You're going from a relationship and you're going to break down communication perhaps in a relationship, or lay a relationship to rest. So it can be endings. I feel like it's maybe going through a quiet period in your relationship. It's not necessarily an ending, because you don't have major cards that indicate an exodus, such as the Eight of Cups, the Six of Swords, or you don't have the Death card here as well. But there can be a few obstacles, and obstacles have come up in the form of the Nine of Wands. Now, you have strong fire here, which would be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. And the Nine of Wands is really a suspicious or hesitant energy. It's about someone having their guard up or being unsure about a situation, Virgo. Now, this could be you, or it might be a fire sign that you're dealing with directly, whether they're a friend, a lover, a colleague, a boss, someone you report to. But he is looking quite suspiciously at the Four of Swords. So I feel like you're going to perhaps notice that something is changing with another person. Could be internal, it could be external, but I feel like you're going to have some sort of suspicion, and it could even be like a hunch in a relationship, Virgo. You might notice that something's changing, or someone is changing. Maybe they're pulling away a little bit, or you feel like you need your defenses up. Maybe something feels like too good to be true, because oftentimes when the Lovers card comes up, it's a very beautiful energy bringing people together. It's Adam and Eve, so it's a primordial connection that's occurring here. A very beautiful relationship, the first of its kind in the Genesis story. So really, some of you might be thinking that someone is too good to be true for you. Or if someone is pulling away, you're definitely noticing these sorts of things. And more obstacles could come in the form of the Ten of Wands. Now, it's not always obstacles, but it is seen as burdensome energy. The reason being is because this gentleman is holding all the wands. Although he manages just fine, he is somewhat tired, overworked, or feeling pressured. So someone might be placing a bit of pressure on you in your career, for example, in your job. You might be trying to meet demands. there might be a lot of pressure placed on you from another person, a significant other, or even feeling a lot of pressure in a relationship. Pressure to make a choice or make a decision, especially if you are feeling like you're confined on your, or you're stuck in a fork in the road here. But really, the Ten of Wands can be a card of really dedicating yourself. There's some sort of outstanding tasks that you might want completed. There's things that might need to be done, in your working life, in the working realm, maybe in your creative pursuits. Nonetheless, the Ten of Wands is a very focused card. So Wands is motivation and action. So it could be a very opportunistic time to move, to relocate, to run the errands, or to get a lot of things done before 2019 wraps up. Now, for some of you, there is special people coming in around you, especially in regards to love. Some of you might be meeting someone for the first time face to face. An angel here is orchestrating a divine connection here, and it does more so point towards love in general, meeting a future spouse, meeting a relationship partner, meeting someone that's going to be quite significant for you, someone that you've prayed for, that you've wished for, that you've meditated on, you've dreamt about, or even brought into your experience. Nonetheless, the Lover's card can be a significant relationship. I do feel like love is a major theme for you in December, and what a beautiful way to end 2019. You've got, it's almost like soulmate validation here, or meeting someone very, very special, or even entering into a special partnership, or even if things have been laid to rest, finding more adventure and more passion with this person again, reigniting the spark, which the Page of Wands can represent. But back to that Lover's card, it could be a destined Gemini coming in. It could also be business partnerships, relationships, important interviews. If this is the case, I feel like you might ace these interviews because Gemini is the communicator of the zodiac. So it could indicate successful communication, effective communication, very clear, concise goals, and making a lasting impression here as well. But there is a destined relationship that's forming, or someone that you're meeting in the time of December that will potentially be a part of your future here, Virgo. So that is quite exciting. But look, it could be, if you've laid communication to rest with the person, they might be coming back around. You might hear from them. The Page of Wands can be a message as well. He can be a bit of a messenger. So you might be hearing from someone you were once connected to, or you once were in love with, even with the Lover's card. But it could be a divine conception here as well, celebrating love. But definitely love is a major theme for a lot of you in the month of December. Moving on, you have the Page of Wands, which does represent a Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo. The Page of Wands is often seen as a shaker, as a motivator, someone who follows his passion. It could be someone younger coming in around you for love, but it is a message of love or flirtatious behavior. Secret admirers coming out of the works. In this middle column here, the Nine of Wands with the Page of Wands, there might be someone around you. I don't know if it's the same person here, but there might be someone around you that might be laying it on a little bit thick this month, and maybe hence your suspicions, or someone might be a little bit suspicious of you if you are really going above and beyond. And look, that's just your nature here, Virgo. You tend to be a perfectionist. You tend to care a lot about people. You tend to put 110% into something that you're really committed to. So, and that can be taken as you care a lot. You like to fuss about people. You're the caretaker of the zodiac. So it could be that someone's feeling like you're too good to be true. Maybe you're coming up with that sort of energy for them here as well. But look, the Page of Wands can symbolize an adventure or a trip, potentially. Maybe not necessarily a large-scale international trip, but there could be news from abroad. You might be traveling. You might be taking a few day trips. You might be going on a few weekends away, going on hikes, being in exotic environments. The Page of Wands is very adventurous. So there could be someone around you that might want to try something new with you this month, Virgo. You might notice that you want to engage in a new activity, for example, but nonetheless, adventure is around. Also passion, lust, and sex, because that's what the Page of Wands can represent here. Interestingly, you might have an important decision that needs to be made in love. I say that because you've got the Two of Swords and also the Twins, which are epitomized in the Lovers card. So there's a notion of two here. Two cycles, two people, two relationships, two choices, two decisions, okay? Two of Swords can be a phase when we're not really sure about something that we want to complete or something we want to do. Sometimes there's a fork in the road or shutting ourselves off to something. Blocks in communication or mental blocks. Now the moon is pictured in the background of this card here, and the moon can definitely symbolize creativity. So if you are someone who is involved in creative pursuits, designing, writing, whatever it is that you do creatively, there could be a few blocks, okay? So there could be a few creative blocks. Say, for example, writer's block or something like this. Not for all of you, but you might have to work extra hard to summon that motivation to keep yourself going. It could also be blocks in communication. You might be blocked on social media. Someone might be blocking you. You might not be responding to someone. Someone might not be responding to you, which would correspond to that laying something to rest here, especially because they are Swords cards. It could also be surprises, things that you didn't see coming because you've got a blindfold on. I also feel if this is in regards to an opportunity you've said no to before, Virgo, this opportunity could come back around a second time here, and it would be destiny at play, hence the angel that sits in the bottom left-hand corner in this spread. So I'm inclined to believe that something you've said no to could be coming back around. Could also be defensiveness. You might be very defensive towards a person, an idea, an opinion. You might notice someone around you, maybe a lover, maybe someone you work with, someone you're very close to, becoming increasingly defensive about an issue perhaps, or something that's going on with them in their life. So you might notice these sorts of tendencies during the time of December. Stops and starts in love could be coming up as well. Anything to do with relationships and key people, business relationships. You might be meeting clients that are going to help you in the long run, or long-term clients. You might be meeting someone who is really going to change your fortune in the workplace, but it's about key people that are showing up in your life in the month of December. But I do feel like it's filled with love for a lot of you Virgos watching. So I do hope it is a lovely December for you. I will be continuing with your extended reading, the link to which will be available below. Otherwise, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all the best. Bye for now, Virgo.